Hello, welcome to the CPUC Broadband Mapping Team's webinar on the California Interactive Broadband Map. This webinar will provide a demonstration of how to navigate and to use the map. Each year, the CPUC collects deployment and subscription information from internet service providers across the state. Please visit our website for more information on the broadband data collection process, or watch our webinar on the CPUC YouTube channel. Links are provided in the description box below. These data are published on the California Interactive Broadband Map. The CPUC recently published an updated map with end-of-year data from 2023. Including the newest California Advanced Services Fund infrastructure account eligible locations. The newest map also reflects various updates, including features to help users navigate the map, the addition of the FCC availability data to our map, and a new layer to show adoption rates at the federal standard of 100 megabits per second down, 20 megabits per second up. Because the CPUC is constantly improving the map interface, please be sure to clear your website cache when visiting the map. This will ensure that the most recent map features are showing. The website cache can be cleared by right-clicking on the map until a pop-up window appears. Select Inspect at the bottom of the pop-up window. A side panel will appear on the right when you complete this step. Then, move to the refresh button in the upper left-hand corner and right-click. Select Empty Cache and Hard Reload. The web page will refresh and your website cache is now cleared. If you have any additional questions, please visit our FAQs for more information. We will now begin our walkthrough of the map. Starting here, the How to Use the Map button leads you through a series of pop-up windows with notes on what the various map sections are. You may use the forward and backward buttons to move to the next or the previous boxes. You can click on the X to close the box and return to the map. If you click on this button, our user guide pops up as a PDF file in another browser tab. The user guide provides extensive detail on using the map and the layers and tools included on the map. If you would like updates on new releases of the map, click on the Stay Updated button and enter your email address to join our mailing list. Moving to the lower left-hand corner of the map, there are several helpful links, including links to the Broadband Mapping Program website, our previous map version from end of year 2021, and our FAQs. The California Interactive Broadband Map contains many layers and many tools. The map contains 6 main categories of layers that you can turn on and off. The top 2 are the broadband availability layers, which show where broadband service is available and at what speeds, and the political boundaries layers. These political boundaries pair with the other data layers to show the outlines of various census boundaries, state and federal legislative districts, high fire threat areas, and community anchor institutions, among others. There are also layers for broadband adoption, which shows where Californians have subscribed to broadband service and at what speeds, the California Advanced Services Fund, or CASF, infrastructure account eligibility layer, which shows locations that may be eligible for state grants to build out broadband access. The California statewide Middle Mile Broadband Initiative, which shows Caltrans and the Department of Technology's progress in placing middle mile fiber across the state. And lastly, the Broadband Grants layer, which includes approved California Advanced Services Fund infrastructure account grants. If you open any one of these pull-down layer menus, you can hover over the info button and a description of each layer will pop up for you to read. You can also adjust the transparency of each layer by clicking on the double box symbol and using the slider scale to adjust the visibility. In this webinar, we will highlight a limited selection of layers on this map, starting with the Fixed Consumer Served Status layer. The map opens to a default of the Fixed Consumer Served Status layer, showing CPUC data on availability. Specifically, it shows census blocks color-coded based on their access to broadband speeds of at least 25 megabits per second down and 3 megabits per second up, or unserved or priority unserved status if not. The legend panel will show you which colors correspond to which served status. The legend will display on the map if the View on Map button is toggled on. More information about a given area will appear in a side panel by clicking directly on a region of interest. For example, if you click on the census block layer in the political boundaries section and click on any census block, a side panel will appear with more information on the served status, the maximum available speeds in that census block, and other demographic details. The layer listed above the Fixed Consumer Served Status layer is the FCC Availability layer. This shows FCC collected data on availability as of December 31st, 2023. We also have the Public Feedback layer, which shows results that we collect through a survey on our map. We collect inputs on ISP availability, speed, and satisfaction. This allows us to compare against the availability data that the CPUC collects directly from the ISPs. In terms of broadband adoption, we have 3 layers. These layers show what percentage of people have broadband subscriptions at a given speed plan. We have layers showing the adoption rate at any available speed, adoption rate at 25.3. This is the threshold for eligibility under the CASF Infrastructure Account Program. And finally, we have a layer showing the adoption rate at 120, the federal standard. In terms of the California Advanced Services Fund Infrastructure Account Program, we have the CASF Infrastructure Account Eligibility layer. These are locations that are eligible for the upcoming round of applications in October. Previously approved CASF projects can be found in our Broadband Grants section. These layers include information on project approval dates and funding amounts. These are broken up into project type, including last mile projects, hybrid last and middle mile projects, or middle mile projects. The CASF proposed project layer will host proposed projects from the upcoming application cycle in October for public review. There are also several tools that you can use to navigate the map. Using the address search tool, you can look up an individual address to see what providers offer broadband service there and submit public feedback through our survey. You can also provide feedback by clicking on the Feedback Tool button here. The Zoom to Provider tool allows you to look up broadband availability by internet service provider for consumer or business service, or by technology type, such as cable or fiber. You can also look up CASF infrastructure projects by individual provider. Finally, using the Zoom to Region tool, you can zoom into a specific census block or political boundary region. This tool will outline the selected region and can be paired with other data layers, such as the Serve Status layer or the CASF Approved Projects layer. For more information on the layers and tools that are available in this map, please read our user guide. Map data, including CASF eligible locations, are available for download on our websites as geodatabase files. Links are included in the description box below. This concludes our overview and demonstration of the California Interactive Broadband Map. If you have any questions, please contact the CPUC Broadband Mapping Team at broadbandmapping@cpuc.ca.gov. Thank you for watching.